Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
I'm in group 12.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Miriam. I'm in group 5. Thank you, Professor Bright, for sending the link.
Good morning. I'm Hadi Awuda from Sudan.
All right, so welcome everyone.
Good morning.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you this morning. So, and we'll be spending this 5 days trying to dig deep into the issues of scientific writing. So I welcome you to this course organized by the African Science Frontiers Initiatives. We call it in short ASFI. Most of you are joining ASFI course for the first time. Some of you are returning perhaps the second time. So whatever category you are, you're joining for the first time, you are a returnee, you're welcome. Those who are joining for the first time, it will be good in your groups to share experiences with those who have had before. We organize a course that will be memorable for everyone of us. So welcome. One thing now is this morning, the first day of starting the course is usually haywire. Things go wrong and things like that. We start late, but after today, we want to ensure that we keep to our time and then we do the things the way they need to be done. Many things will be allowed today, but after today, then we are very, in fact, after this morning, we become very tough, like generals in the army. We'll be very tough. So please, we have sent out instructions, emails. We do that to ensure that what we are doing here will be less hectic for us. So please read those instructions carefully and follow them. It will make life easier for us. It will make life easier for you. Some of you, why you saw me starting late is that I having this batch of emails coming, text messages, WhatsApp messages. Which group am I? Where am I? This and that. And that can make life difficult. Just to mention, for those who are wondering, perhaps they applied to the course and they are not have not received the link or other information. We have two-stage application process. So that you apply doesn't guarantee that you'll be in the course. So we make selection and choose those who will participate, and we send them second information to confirm their place. If you did not confirm your place, that means you have given up your place. So I've received so many of that this morning. I applied to the course and I have not received any information. Once you did not confirm, we are not operating with the first list we got. We're operating with the confirmed participant. So please note that. I have had mercy on some people this morning before the course started. So once the course has started, mercy is short. No going back because we want to move forward. So for those who are applying for the first time, just note that we have two-stage application process, so that you don't think that we caused the problem. It is you that caused the problem. Okay. All right. So These 5 days, I promise you, for every one of us, it should be transformational. All right. So if there are things that are pulling you behind, hanging, not to commit 100% to the course, please just cut them off and dedicate to these 5 days. That is the only way you can leave this course and you hold yourself high that I have learned. Now it is my turn to go and apply. Because I know it is an online course. We are all behind a black screen there, and everybody is doing different things. Some people go into the toilet, some people go into the shop, some people go into different things, going to the farm, and before you know it, you are distracted. All right, but we'll have a way to catch you if you are not with us in spirit and in soul. We will try to capture that. So the only way you can get what we have these 5 days is to commit yourself, and then I promise you that it's the same as we have in other courses. At the end of the 5 days, we all leave with smiles on the face. Although some people don't want to leave at the end of the course, want to continue. But 5 days we have promised, and we keep to that. All right. So is there any pre-course question anyone has here? There are things that are not clear to you. Let's sort that out now before. So the rule is, if you want to speak, use the raise hand button. Raise your hand and I will recognize it. Don't just speak, just raise your hand. So that is the first rule. Anyone who has any question that you think is not clear to you, issues, all right, I have Mohoza, Octave, Reginald. Please unmute yourself and speak. Unmute yourself and speak, Reginald.
Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Reginald from
Yeah,
Rwanda.
please speak loud. We can't hear you properly. We can't hear you properly.
Yes, my name is Mohoza Octave Reginald, coming from Rwanda. I'm at University of Tourism Technology.
We don't still hear you properly, Reginald.
The video. Good.
Your voice is far away, so if you can speak to your mic, then.
Yes. My question is related about.
Can you put the input of your mic close to your mouth? Can you put the input close to your mouth?
Yes, like this.
Yego Reginald, shiraka microphone hafi y'akanwa kawe.
We don't hear you properly, Reginald.
Like this. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine now. Speak loudly.
Okay. So my question is related to the program. It is from 8 in the morning up to evening. So I would like to know, are you going to have the break time from which time up to what time?
The break, you mean the breakout time? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
When you need to go and eat?
Yes.
All right. I know that we'll have to eat. Don't worry. Food is very, very important. I will tell you when you eat, but I assure you, we are not running a marathon. We will have a stop and we'll eat. I will come back to that. All right. Does anyone fall within the category of Reginald? Food is important, and I agree with Reginald very, very well. And then, of course, you have the break to stretch your legs. So we have that. We'll have 1 full hour reserved for you on that. I will come back to that. All right. I have Olubumi Abidemi. Please unmute and speak.
Good morning, Professor Bright.
Good morning.
please, I would love it if you can have the timetable for the program. The timetable.
The timetable.
Yes, sir. Especially so that we know the actual time for the break, so that we can also plan ourselves towards that. Thank you.
Okay, I thought you have already planned yourself to be here without any distraction. Goodness me. I thought you have reserved the whole day to be here. All right, I will come back to that. All right. Any other issue? All right, I have Osagne. Please go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Bright, and the other moderators and fellow participants. I just wanted to, with regards to the same thing for the break. We have different time schedules, so I'm just inquiring whether what time the break is, considering that some of us probably would have certain periods that we would have to go for prayers.
Well, we'll have a certain time. I will come back to that. But the fact is that everybody has different needs. And for a program like this, we can't take into account everybody's needs. All right. And the time differences are there. So usually the break time is the lunch break is 11 to 12 GMT. All right. So you can convert that to your own time, 11 to 12 GMT. That is when we have the lunch break. All right. And then within the course, we have some short breaks so that you can stretch your legs, you can take some water, and then we'll continue. So the lunch break is 11 a.m. to 12 noon GMT every day. So that is what we have. And so if it doesn't fall within your prayer time, maybe you can adjust and pray during that time. But it's, since we have different times, somebody's in Rwanda, somebody's in Cameroon, somebody's in Congo, somebody's in Egypt, somebody's in South Africa. If we take all those into account, the course will not even hold. Trust me. All right. Okay, I have Dakoru, and then after that I have Kago and Alao, and then we move on. Please, Dakoru. Unmute yourself and speak. Dakoru, unmute yourself and speak.
Okay. Good morning, Professor Bright and all participants here. My own question is also in line with, I think, every other question raised here so far. Some of us may just need maybe extra 30 minutes to do school round. I don't know if we'll be allowed to do that. Just to do school round and join the class.
Nope. So I mean, if you want to do that, you can do that. But what I'm saying no is that we can't wait for you. All right. That is one. The second thing is that depending on your level of participation, that is what determines having the certificate. All right. Depending on your level of participation. Of course, the certificate is not important compared to the knowledge you will get and the skills you will develop. But I know Africans want certificate, even launch certificate. People want certificate. They keep asking me for certificate. They log in, they log out, they said, where is my certificate? So if you want to get certificates, then that depends on the level of participation. All right? So that is why during the application confirmation, we have a question we'll ask you. The first one is having internet data to attend the course during this time, and then you can commit up to 7 hours to attend. So you have ticked that, you have committed yourself, and then we will hold you responsible. All right, Kagu Diko.
Okay, so just one more thing. It's just maybe the school run is just for today. After today, somebody else will just take care of that. Just the lapses will only be for today.
Yeah, so you got the same answer I will give to you. So manage yourself so that you can be in this class. I promise you, if you miss it, you will not be happy yourself because you will miss something. All right, Kagu Diko.
Good morning, professors. Good morning, Joe. This is Diko from Mali. My question is that are we going to have all the course together, or are you going to separate us in different rooms, like each group one? Yeah. So as we are not sharing the same group. Thank you.
All right, Diko, this is your first time, isn't it?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so just watch out what will happen. Okay. All right, I have Alao.
Yes, good morning, Prof.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. I just want to find out how soon do we have access to the recording?
How soon?
Yes. Is it possible to get it after
once it populates? Okay. So we are running 7 hours course, and that takes time to populate. So once it's populated, you will have it on the YouTube channel. All right. So that is beyond our control. It depends on how fast this can go through. Finally, Miriam, please.
Hello, good afternoon, Prof. Good afternoon, everyone.
Morning. Your afternoon already, Miriam.
Sorry, good morning. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Good morning. Yeah, I want to ask, I was going through the project's scope, the project. Then I saw that I just want to ask, do we need, are we meant to submit the whole proposal for publication? I mean, the whole manuscript, the full manuscript for publication at the end of the 5 days?
Does that give you concern, Miriam?
No, I'm just asking because when I saw that,
does that give you concern?
Has to be submitted after the 5 days and the likes.
Of course, we're not playing games here, Miriam. You have to do it. That is why I said you have to dedicate time. And this time we have brought it. I mean, we have weekends between the course, the days of the course, so that you can have a space of breathing and kick off again. But Miriam, this question you're asking, you answer it at the end of the course, because once you start now, you will not want to stop. But the expectation is that you will do what we have asked and finish it up and submit at the end and make presentation actually on the last day. And I am sure if others have done it in the past, you are able to do it now.
All right. Thank you so much, bro.
It's exciting. It's exciting to go through those things, and I promise you'll be happy with it. So don't worry about how heavy or no. It's not a problem. You will deal with it. All right. So we will move on now. Wherever you're joining from, please welcome. This is African Science Frontiers Initiatives, and we are here to support you to go through this course, the Art of Scientific Writing. One of you was asking about the recording. We record our trainings, and we record it and make it available. So one of the rules we have is mute yourself. I usually mute people on entering, but I allow people so that they can express themselves easily. So let's be very responsible. If you're not speaking, mute yourself. All right. And please use the chat box. There were 1,815 of you who applied to this course. 1,815 who applied to this course. And because of the large number of people, we moved the maximum number. We plan to take 120 and increase it to 300. Or a little bit lower than that, because the Zoom we have can carry maximum of 300. But there are close to 300 of you who have accepted to be on this course. We are happy. We're happy to have you. We are happy to do what you are doing. This course is 5 days, 7 hours, and it is offered to you free of charge by the African Science Frontiers Initiative. For now, this is the last free course we are offering to Africans. All right. This is the last one. We have started almost 3 years now, and we have been doing that. And we promise ourselves after 3 years, free courses will come to an end. So it's our pleasure to do it. I have with me my colleague from ASFI, Dr. Ajibola Oladejo. Dr. Ajibola, are you here? Please say some words to the participants. I'm not sure Eman is here now. Dr. Oladejo, are you there? Can you speak out? We don't hear you.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
can
hear you now.
Yes, I'm so happy to meet you all. I'm so happy to meet you all this morning. I'm happy to be here, and it's going to be a very good training. I'm excited as well as I'll be training alongside with you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. So Dr. Oladejo will be behind the scene helping me to get things, admit people, and help with some practical issues. So, yeah, perhaps the other colleague will join later on, Dr. Eman Sop. All right, so please use the chat feature and introduce yourself, because we can't allow everyone to speak. And then when you meet in your different groups, you do more detailed introductions. Now, one of the exciting things about this course, and as well about the courses ASFI runs, is that the breakout sessions give you opportunity to collaborate. I tell you, the courses we have been doing, we keep on having meetings with people who have formed groups to work together on projects. All right, and it's exciting. So the breakout sessions allow you to move beyond this course, collaborate, all right, and begin to do things together. So use it to your own benefit. Identify interests, identify people who are working in your area, identify colleagues who have similar things, or even you can form new ideas and start new collaboration. One thing with this course is that it is multidisciplinary, as well as other courses ASFI SFI runs. All right. It's multidisciplinary. What I'll be giving you these 5 days is a framework of thinking, a framework you can use to think through your process. So I will hear the cry, well, this is not what I do in my field. Or no, that is not the issue. I'm not giving field specific instructions here. I'm giving you tools you can use. Once you move out of this course, you can go to your field and then apply them, expand it, contextualize these things, and make use of them. All right. So we provide opportunity for you to apply it. Okay. Just a minute. Let me see what I have here. All right. Okay. So I will skip this now. I will come back to the motivation and expectation. I will come back to that later. So let me skip it now. Okay, a little bit about myself. For those who are just joining for the first time, I am the founder and the executive director of African Science Frontiers Initiatives. We call it ASFI. And then I'm an associate professor of epidemiology at the Institute of Medicine, University of Gothenburg here in Sweden. And that is where I'm joining you from. I'm also an adjunct professor of epidemiology at Tampere University in Finland, where I did my PhD, and then, of course, worked for some years there before moving to Sweden. And then I'm an honorary fellow at the University of Edinburgh, where I also worked for some years. Did my postdoc, and then I did some work with them before I also left. And then I am an adjunct associate professor of epidemiology at Babcock University in Nigeria. So what do I do? In terms of teaching, I teach courses in epidemiology. I teach courses in science, research, capacity building, and the courses you see in SFI, those are my interests in terms of teaching. And I do research. My research is in the area of respiratory disease, asthma, COPD, allergy, and currently we have developed a research program around COVID-19. So these are my areas. So I do population epidemiological studies as well as clinical epidemiological studies. And for me, it is very, very exciting to go through these issues. All right. For the benefit of those who are joining us for the first time, let me just give you some motivations of the reason why you are here, why you are able to belong to this platform this week to have this course. It's all about ASFI. It's all about ASFI. And what is our conviction? Our conviction is that if you take a cross-section survey or study around the world about how nations develop, about how societies grow, about how there is harmony and the needs of people are met. If you take a survey of that, you see that there is a common denominator. And that common denominator is an active, conscientious, intentional role of science. And when I say science here, I don't mean things we differentiate: hard science, pure science, social science. No, I'm talking about, when I say science, I'm talking about development of knowledge, and application of knowledge for the betterment of humanity. That is what in SFI, science is broadly defined. All right. So science can incorporate things like research, our studies, and things like that. All right. So if you take a cross-section across the world, how nations develop, you see that science has an active role to play. In fact, it's difficult for any society to develop without science or develop meaningfully. And so whether you are joining us from Mali, you're joining us from Rwanda, you're joining us from Nigeria, you're joining us from South Africa, you're joining us from Egypt, Libya, know that our society, an African continent, will not develop properly if your skills are not brought to bear. Because through science and research, we generate evidence that can be applied in issues. All right? Today, Africa has so much problems. I met a group yesterday from a previous course, and they're developing some research programs. So they wanted to discuss with me about the ideas. And one of the topics that caught my interest was this person wanted to look at issues around regions with conflict in Africa. And I was asking the group, how do you define a region or a country with conflict? How do you define conflict? What is that? Okay, well, I'll send them back to go and define that. But eventually you begin to see that, is there any country in Africa where there is no conflict? Depending on how you define conflict. Well, if you go beyond conflict, you can speak about other things. Hunger, poverty, development, bad roads, poor internet, connectivity, poor electricity. Okay? Our cultures are eroding, and so on and so forth. So name it. And if you think that the people who are saddled with the responsibility to change these stories are the politicians, I tell you, you will wait for long. You will wait for long, because eventually they become destructive. Yeah, if they are left alone. But what happens in sane societies where things happen is that the politicians form alliance with the scientists. So the scientists will generate the evidence, and those can be applied. So that is why you see what I have on the screen. Sorry, I've been speaking on this for long, but the point here is that there could be no meaningful societal development without science. In fact, where science and research is prospering, go to those societies, there is a high correlation, almost a perfect correlation between thriving science and societal development. Well, does anyone have a contrary opinion? Does anyone who disagrees with what I'm saying? Does anyone disagree? If you agree, you can give me a thumbs up. But if you disagree, just let me know. But I tell you, there is a perfect correlation. You can't change that story. And just believe it that Africa is where it is today because of our approach to what we do. And I'm not just blaming the politicians, even the scientists. Many of us who are gathered here, close to 300, you are there at the four corners of your office. What you're thinking is how to push your career, how to push it and become this and become that. Rarely do you see people who think, how can I make my society better based on what I am doing? How can my research be used to transform my society? Rarely do you find many of us who are thinking about that. But that's where we need to be, okay? That is where we need to be. And if we are not thinking in that line, then something is wrong. We will continue to be where we are for many, many, many years to come. Omobola, do you have question or yours? All right, your hand is down. Okay. So let me go on to finish this preaching I am making. It's not just preaching, it's a fact. All right, so there could be no meaningful society development without science. But it's not just science. That science must thrive. It must thrive. There must be an evidence that there is a growth. We have to see that things are happening. Things are happening, not a dormant situation. I'll tell you, the African story and African science, I don't know, between being active and dormant, which one do you think is happening? You can just type there. Where do you think African science is with regards to Africa's development? Is it active or is it dormant? Type on the chat box there. Active, dormant, whatever, which one you want, you think. Okay, so that is I see people saying active, some people say inactive, some people are saying dormant, but dormant seems to be, somebody said somewhere in between, stiff food. Yeah. All right. But overall, you see that there is something that is happening that is not right. Perhaps we are not where we should be. But you know that science can only thrive when scientists have the right competencies, the right capacities, and are up to date with the things that are happening. The right competencies, the right capacities, and are up to date with the state of art in their areas. This is why SFI is here. This is why SFI was born. How can we support African scientists to thrive? How can we help them to do better than they are doing today? How can we help them to become more critical? All right? How can we do that? And that is why we're here. Mind you, okay, I have a book here I read many years back. It says, PhD is not enough. And I tell you that is true. You know, we think that once you have your PhD, then you have arrived. No. Actually, PhD is that you have started. You have, it's a beginning of a journey. You have not arrived anywhere. It's not enough. PhD is not enough. So there are many things you cannot learn within the four corners of the university, even when you're doing your PhD. That is a fact. And those skills come by experience. Those skills come by experience. Those skills come by following the footsteps of people who have gone ahead. Those skills come by a gathering like this. We call professional development. Many universities in Africa, let me not use many, I would say most, close to 99%, yes, do not have well-intentioned planned capacity building for faculties. Or is that untrue when I say most? Yes, I know that. I know that, of course. So even when I'm in Sweden, I am not unaware of what is going there. I am very, 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 very down to earth. I am aware of what is going there. And that is true that many African institutions do not have well-planned capacity building, competence acquisition, progression that will help the staff to do better. Here, we do that. We do have that, I tell you, we do have that. And last year, oh goodness me, they put me on a course, a leadership course. I went to that course. It was transformational. And that is what I believe that you will also get from what we have this 5 days. It was transformational for me. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. And we do that. We do that. We do that often. We do that often. And keep doing that because that is what is required for you to perform. All right. So ISFI is here to support these objectives. So our vision is to raise the next generation of African scientists with the right competencies to drive Africa's developmental and transformational agenda through innovative scientific research. So the good news is that you can do better. You can do better. And at any time you have come in the journey of your life, you think, I have arrived. You have actually failed. All right? I have a friend of mine in Nigeria, very good friend of mine, and he will call me. He said, Bright, are you still doing research? When will your research finish even? You have been doing this for a long time. And we'll laugh over it. We'll laugh over it. But that is really an important question because we think we start a journey that we're going to end. When I did my master's, I had my professor, and after that, I did a PhD with another professor. And this professor, when I did my master's, I followed her. We continued to do things together. And then she has reached the age of retirement, and she said, "Oh, Bright, when I retire now, I just want to leave out everything. I have done my own." Anyway, I said, well, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy because I know when my dad retired, he was so excited to retire. But once he retired, he started feeling that, something is missing. You know, so this professor retired. She said to me, no, it won't happen like that. When I retire, I'm going to retire. I will just give out everything. All right. So I remember a year or two when I moved to Sweden, and then I discovered that my previous university in Finland were having a PhD defense, and she was the opponent. So I wrote, what are you doing? I saw your name. You said, Bright, it's not easy. In fact, she went back as a visiting researcher at the institution where she finished. All right. What am I saying? Is that this is a lifetime journey. So at any time you think, now I am done, I have arrived, then you're making a mistake. It's a journey you have to run for a long time, which means that your institute, your nation need your ideas. And those ideas can intentionally be built through capacity building. So SFI, we want to raise the next generation. And when we say we want to raise the next generation, we mean it. Except you have not been following SFI activities, you will discover that we mean what we are saying here. We mean it seriously. And I am really excited that some of you have joined the bandwagon. Oh, I love some of the things happening across many of the forums. Really trying to support what we're doing. Okay, I have A hand raised by is it Batut? Goodness me, that name has how many zeros? 5 zeros. Batut, please. Is that how the name is spelled? Unmute yourself and speak, Batut. Right, the hand
sorry for this interruption. Actually, it's not.
Can you unmute and speak, please? Fatma Tahar.
Yes, I'm changing my name.
You change it. Yeah, I can see now. All right, please go ahead with your question or comment.
Yeah. Sorry, I disconnect from laptop and then joined again from mobile. Is it okay?
Yeah, no problem. Just use whatever you think is possible for you and do that. All right. Okay. So let's move on. Somebody's annotating my screen, and I don't usually like that. So I will stop sharing and I will share it again. So please just hold your hand at peace. Yeah, so but Fatma is okay. We have heard you. Otherwise, your line is not very clear. All right. So our mission is to instill excellence in African science through competence acquisition, capacity building, and career development. We want to form a group of Africans who can contribute to Africa's development through what they do in their scientific endeavors, because it is only through a competent science that we can change our current narrative. And you ask, how can that happen? Then when you are doing things excellently, and when you think you have reached a level where the society is your laboratory, your research laboratory, so that you do it and you apply it there, then you see that the society will begin to take a shape towards what we actually desire. So what do? We have seminars, we have workshops, we have hands-on courses, as we have these 5 days. We have mentoring program, and several hundreds of people are already participating in our mentoring programs, especially those who finish from the course and then they form a group and join the mentoring program. And then we do research. We do different types of research in which we try to generate information on different topics that we believe are essential to African scientists, and we dig deeper into those and use those to generate evidence that will shape our training or shape the conversations in our seminars and workshops. So there are lots of activities happening, and I'm very, very excited. So this is the what we call the ASFI Science Seminar Series. This is the 2022 one. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can see the topics that have been covered. We are covering next year. We are looking big into it to do great things. The last topic was what we call giant disruptors, bandwidth, electricity, and load shedding. How do they affect it? And if you miss that, oh goodness me, you have to go back and look at it, because we really had very good time discussing some of the issues that are plaguing our continent. They are not supernatural issues. These are issues that God has given us the ability to solve these problems. So some of these things here, we can become prayer warriors and pray for ages. They will not be solved until we intentionally, because the grace is already with us to do it. But many things become hindrances. And what are the hindrances? We ourselves, as people from our continent, we are destroying the things that we need to build. So if you go through what we have here, we are discussing issues that we believe will support African scientists in continuing the conversation of how to make our continent better. All right, so the next one, the last science seminar series for this year, the last one is coming on the 18th of December. And you can see on the title there, we'll be discussing about SFI programs in 2023 and beyond. SFI programs in 2023 and beyond. What is in it for you? How can you participate? What are you expecting? How can you join this force so that we can make our voice heard? If you fail to join, then you shouldn't complain to anyone. I'm not getting what I deserve in my career. If you fail to join, so this is a movement. It's a movement you need to join. You need to come in. You need to participate. And I believe those who are in it will not regret. So in that seminar series, we'll be talking about the seminars for 2023. We're talking about ASFI membership. We have mentioned that. I will come back to that a little bit. And so that those who are preparing, because we keep getting the from when will the membership start. We are almost ready for that. We talk about courses for next year and going forward. Conference, yeah, a lot of things going on now. The SFI Digital Conference 2023, fantastic plans. The committee is working, and the committees I mean here are volunteers from you, people who are volunteering and putting their time to design a program to help us, and that will be a multidisciplinary conference. You know, we don't want to begin to restrict disciplines. We want to come together, because Africa's problem is not a problem of discipline. All right? But if all hands on deck, we can come to a common platform where we can speak the same language. And that is, how do we make our society better? So we are planning the multidisciplinary conference for 2023. And the other one is exciting, the boot camp, an informal gathering of African scientists where we can have some days outside the busy nature of our work, and maybe outside the cities, and go somewhere and deliberate, think, network, collaborate, and find important things to do that will continue to ginger us to do great things in our career and for our continent. And then we'll talk about the tips and tricks for next year. As you know, we have the Dr. Nwaro's research tips and tricks. It's a monthly research clinic in which we discuss some topical issues around capacity building and career development in science. And then we are planning the SFI journal, a multidisciplinary journal. We want to make a statement that Africans can publish excellent research. All right? So we are planning that. So please come, and then we'll talk about some of the research work we are engaging on. So Dr. Nwaro's research tips and tricks for this year, you can see the different topics we have covered for this year. And next year, we are going to continue it. The last edition of that is coming, for this year, is coming on the 30th of December. And we are going to be looking at, when you're generating your evidence, how do you search? How do you develop systematically searches and search different databases to generate your information. Some of you are doing literature review, maybe when you're writing your scientific article or when you're doing your thesis. And sometimes the problem is, how do I find what I need? How do I get them? Sometimes you know where to get them, but how do I generate such strings that can help me to pick those things I need? If you have a need, well, I don't think there's anybody who is doing research, who is an academia, who doesn't have this need. Then 30th of December is where you need to be. Or you may be in the mood of Christmas and end of the year partying. And that is why we intentionally put it here, because those who will come will be the serious people who can say, these 2 hours, I want to dedicate it to learn the skills. The tips and tricks are usually 1 hour, but this is a special edition so that we can have time to cover some of the key issues in this area. So watch out for that. Hopefully by the end of this week, we will have the advert flyer out and we'll send it so that you will have those and start registration for them. All right, then we'll have other courses. This week we are dealing with the art of scientific writing and communication of publishing, we'll call it publishing. And then we'll have other courses we have in our course collection. And many of you have been asking about the data analysis. Yes, I promise you, the first course we'll be running in 2023 will be that course. So if you're waiting for it, please look forward to it. That is the first course. During the first quarter of next year, we will be launching this course, data analysis and software. We want to take from the foundation. How do you conceptualize? How do you collect? How do you prepare? How do you analyze? How do you interpret? How do you publish it? But the caveat here is that, as I said from the beginning, this course, this 5 days, is the last free course we are running. And so this will cost you some money so that we can support our activities. Of course, you can even support us without even attending. When you say SFI in the last 3 years, you have tried. I will support you with this. All right. Okay. But one thing is that we want to make life easier for all of us. All right. And that is why for our courses, our trainings, we are introducing SFI membership. Okay. I presented that. I will show it again now here. Membership, and membership will have benefit. So courses like this that will come, we will judiciously discount it for members. So if you are not planning to be a member of SFI, well, and then you prepare your pocket, big pocket, to take these trainings. Otherwise, as a member, you will be judiciously to receive the discount. So what we have done in the past almost 3 years now, we have run 8 of these courses. We have trained more than 1,000 Africans from over 40 countries in Africa. And I think we surpassed more than double our initial plan. And at the end of these 5 days, we would have increased the profile of the courses and number of people we have trained in this period. All right. So the target audience, both junior and senior researchers, and across universities in Africa, research institute, and of course, those who come from private sector who are interested in this. Our impact, our trainings are highly rated. Yes, we have important evaluation our participants give because of what they achieve. And of course, we intentionally set the way we offer these courses in a way that it will become very beneficial for you. All right. So we provide opportunity for you to collaborate. We provide opportunity for you to collaborate. And many of you are doing that. We also have post-course mentoring, and so that you can solidify what you have learned. So we provide those platforms for you. So please join the bandwagon and we'll move on. During our second year anniversary, we have testimonials from colleagues who have published their papers after attending SFI in high-ranking journals, attending SFI trainings, several who have received grants. For instance, this is Dr. Elbega Mohammed from Sudan, who won the World Academy of Science postdoctoral fellowship last year. She has tried it 2 times before, but after attending the SFI grant writing course, and we supported her application and mentored her, she applied and she skated through it. Dr. Amanda Odoye from Ghana, she, after attending SFI training, she has won, here is 2. She has won the 3rd one now, the 3rd grant. Dr. Kellen Kambiati from Kenya, the same story. And there was a professor who also attended from Nigeria, and he has tried the TED Fund application twice. And after attending the SFI grant writing course, he went and tried it again. And the first good news he got was that they scaled the concept note stage. All right, they scaled it. And they asked them to send the full application. And last week he sent me this. It didn't go through. But look at what he got here. And I said, you need to be excited. It means that there is a progress. Next year, you now hit it. And this is what TED Fund sent to him. I'll read it here now. It says, reference made to your submission of proposal for funding of research project from the National Research Fund. I am happy to inform you that your proposal, having gone through comprehensive screening process by our panel, was adjudged to be fundable by the panel. All right. However, due to the limitation of funds resulting from the number of applications received and found to be fundable, your proposal falls outside the number of proposed projects that could be considered for funding. I am to assure you that screen proposals were ranked according to the scores assigned by the screening committee to each proposal, and selection for funding started from the highest score and stopped where the available funds were exhausted. The Executive Secretary wishes to congratulate you on the quality of your proposal and extends his good wishes for the success of your submission. You know, it's not perfect, but what happens here is being able to move beyond that stage of concept that he has not moved before, and then going to the stage where the rank, if you know, the TED Fund is quite competitive, and that is a story people are telling about what SFI is doing. And I tell you, you will miss out if you don't join. Your story can change. I promise you, your story can change. So join it, and I think we're happy. And what have you found out? What we have found out in what we are doing is that faculty capacity building, continuous capacity building in Africa is the elephant in the room. Goodness me, is the elephant in the room. Is the elephant that don't allow African scientists to move on. And you don't need to say it's true. You don't need to say it's not true. That is what we have found out. Okay, and so you can see the evidence I've given you in the other slide now, saying that I have tried this 2 times, I have tried this 3 times, I have tried this, but after I was given the capacity and shown the way to do it, the doors begin to open. So if every institution will have opportunity to support the staff, I think the story will change. The story will change for many, many Africans. The story will change. And so the elephant in the room is capacity building, capacity building, capacity building. And I said earlier, unfortunately, many of these things here, you don't get them doing your PhD. You can't get them. That is a promise. Not even in this part of the world, because some of these things come with experience, sharing the experience, and it needs to be intentional. It needs to be continuous. And once we achieve that, you see that our stories will begin to change. And so no matter how your institution has beautiful strategies, have beautiful visions, they have stated, without a continuous capacity building of the staff, those visions, those strategies will still fall short. That is the fact there. Right? But one thing we have noticed is that there is a strong hunger for building the capacity amongst African scientists. There is a strong hunger from Rwanda to Botswana to Egypt or wherever. And that is what we see. In these 5 days, we announced this course. We announced 120 space for admission and 1,815 applied. That is a good sign. It's overwhelming, but it's a good sign there is hunger. And some of you who are here today refuse to give up. You bombarded us. I wouldn't let this opportunity go. All right? It's a strong hunger we see. SFI is here to support you. SFI is here to help you to change our story. We don't only train you, we mentor you. Our trainings are hands-on, meaning that as you leave here next week, Wednesday, you are good to go and do great things in terms of your scientific writing. We provide a platform for you to collaborate. Africa is our focus. Many times Africans, they like the white kinds. Of course, you can make your choice. But one thing is that when we Africans, we have a passion for our continent. We're not just professionals. We want to which word do I use? We want to be infectious with our passion. We want to be infectious with our passion. We want Africans to develop a passion for what they do, to be proud of what they do. So Africa is our focus. And we take this quite serious, because it takes Africans to build Africans. It takes Africans to build Africans. We have been receiving lots of help here and there. We keep running. So, for instance, in my country, this day, my country, Nigeria, for those who don't know, planning for their presidential election, you see some people to get endorsement, they are running to the UK, and they go and give speech so that they will, goodness me, after all, you must come home. Africa is your context. Let's see how we can support ourselves and build our continent. Our trainings, we are covering every aspect of the research process. The goal is to train you and help you. All right, our research project, we are doing research now across different topics: research reproducibility, university, industry, partnership or collaboration. We are having a research program around the issue of research funding in Africa. we are having a research program on publication in African journals. Why do African scientists publish outside? What are the factors responsible for that? And we have a research program on research productivity. Why is it that African scientists produce less, both quantitatively and qualitatively, compared to other parts of the world? What is responsible? And we want to answer these questions. All right. Some of you have been asking about ASFI membership. Okay. You can see the very, very mini costs. The issue is we want commitment. We can make this membership just join. All right, join. Everybody join. But we don't want to do that. We want a commitment, and we want to, as an organization, be responsible to those commitments so that you can hold us responsible. If in the end of the year, you have not gained what you expect, then you hold us responsible. One thing is this: Africans have not developed, let me not use developed, we have developed, but Africans have not appreciated free things. We think free things are of poor quality. Well, you are joining this free, these 5 days. Let's see what will be your impression at the end, but at least you are getting the gist of where we are going. So the courses we run, because they are free, people take them very unserious. People take them very unserious. People don't respond the way, the passion we take to get these things and the effort we put into, these 5 days from today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I have taken holiday. I've taken holiday. I'm free from work. And I will not be paid for it because it's a holiday I've taken to serve my continent, Africa. And so some people are given this opportunity. 1,815 people applied to this course. We have given space to 300. And you see that close to 30% of those will not show up, will not inform us, will not allow us to give their space to another person. That is because it is free. If they have paid something for this training, I tell you, they will not want their money to go. And so this is sometimes saying for everybody to know that what we are doing here, we are not doing it because this is what we have to do. We are doing it because we want to support Africa. So that is why we have annual fee. It's small, but it gives us a sense of commitment. And that commitment, we want to respond to it. And that is why we have promised those who are members, we are going to streamline our activities to make sure we serve them first. All right? We want to create a place of belonging for those who are saying, I am committing to be a member of this organization. We want to ensure that you own this movement. And if you see the plans for next year conference and boot camp, ASFI volunteers, they are not members yet. But even when they are not members, you can see that they own this movement. Night and day, people are discussing. My phone is bumping with beep because of discussion. And I smile. Some people have caught the fire. From Tanzania to Kenya to Cameroon to Nigeria to Ghana to Botswana to South Africa, everywhere people are pushing. We have to do this. All right? We want to respond to that and ensure there is robust commitment from members. One thing is this. You see, some of those who are organizing these conferences and bootcamp, they have not done this before in their life. All right? There are those who have done it. But together, the experience and inexperience come together, and there is both conscious and unconscious mentoring that is happening there. And that is what we want. That is what we want. So we want to respond to that. What are the benefits? Our trainings will be exclusively tailored to you for maximum benefit. We want to do that. We we want to also bring what we call match mentoring, meaning that the junior ones can be matched to the senior ones, perhaps disciplinary or cross-disciplinary, to be mentored. So if you are just joining and you have not muted yourself, please do that because it's important. And then discounted fees, very judicious discounted fees for SFI courses, annual conferences, the boot camp, publication in SFI journals. We want to ensure that members are part of that. And we are planning different awards that will be given yearly and of course in our conferences. Excellence Research Award, participation in capacity building activities and other things. And this will be reserved only for members. All right. So please, we will be releasing the information, further information about this once our application portal is open. We'll release that. So those who have BSc, who have MSc, who have MD, they have half of the price. Yes, we take them so that they have not reached the level you have reached, who are big men and big women here. This is the regular fee you'll be paying. So we'll come back to that. And everything we do so far are all on our YouTube channel, and you have SFI website here. You have the YouTube channel, you have our Twitter, LinkedIn, and then of course, if you want to be in SFI mailing list, you don't need to fill this because now having registered to this course, we will automatically put you on our mailing list unless you say you don't want to participate. All right, I have spoken for some time. Let me give you time. Let's have a stretch, leg stretch, 9 minutes. Let's come back. No, 8 minutes now, 8 minutes. Half the hour now we are, depending on where you are. So that should be 9:30 GMT. Let's come back again and continue. All right, so see you in a bit. All right, so let's start. Okay, so what is our motivation for these trainings? SFI, the motivation is to empower African researchers so that their skills can be enhanced. Okay, we believe that African scientists and researchers and scholars, whichever terminology you used to call it, need to benefit from these trainings. We believe that strongly. Perhaps you may think otherwise. Well, let's make your assessment at the end of the course. We have other courses, as I've mentioned, in addition to this one. Okay, some of you started with worrying about when do I go for lunch. I've mentioned that, and worrying about the timetable. You have the timetable, the course schedule sent to you already. You have it. But if you want to talk about when to eat, I have put it so that you can see. All right, that is around 1.5 hours from now. You go and have your meal, because now you are bombarded with lots of information. But I tell you, the meals you'll be taking these days, today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, will be ones you're doing with smile. Okay? Yeah, I think so. I think so. So for those who are concerned with when are you going to eat, the time is 11 to 12 GMT daily. And then we'll come back. We take time, a schedule quite serious. So we want to ensure that we don't keep African time, okay? So the first day we are looking at introductions and context. All right, looking at that. And second day, that is tomorrow, we'll be looking at writing structures. All right, and we'll be adapting one common, maybe one of the most common structures. And as I said earlier, the goal is not to have disciplinary systems, but to provide a way you can begin to think of the content and how you draft a paper that can, you give it to an editor, the editor, oh, goodness me, what do I do? This is exciting. I don't have space, but can I create space? What do I do? You can make an offer. The editor will find it difficult to reject. And that starts with communication. How do you communicate what you have done? So writing structures will continue. All right. And then on the third day, on Monday, on Tuesday, we'll be looking at manuscript submission. We'll be looking at revision. I'll be looking at publishing. All right. We will be dealing, we're cutting across the whole trajectory of what it means to produce a scientific piece of work. What are the things involved? We are going to be dealing with them during these 5 days. So please play your role actively, and we'll play our role. Somebody is asking, can a WhatsApp group be created? We don't force people. We have lots of WhatsApp groups created there. We don't force people to do that. But if you want to do that, you have our permission. You can do that, okay? But let's see if your colleagues are happy to do that. If you are happy, then I have Atakita Abraha. Abraha is the one raising this. If your colleagues agree, you can form it yourself. So you have the email of everyone, isn't it? And then you can create a link and then send it so that people can join. All right, send the link to everyone on the email list so that people can join. You can include me, you can include Dr. Oladejo also in that, so that, yeah, if it means that will make your life easier and our life easier, go ahead and do that. And of course, you can also create a WhatsApp group for the specific groups. All right. If you create a general WhatsApp group, you can create a WhatsApp group for your specific group. And then finally, on the last day of the course, oh, that is always the most exciting day for me. On Wednesday, I'm going to sit down and then listen to your story of what you have done. That last day is always reserved for presentation of your project. All right, so let's get ready for that. Now, some practical issues. The first one is that this course link is only for you. I see sometimes people receive it and they go and they begin to send it, share it like Santa Claus, Father Christmas. Oh, the link is here. And they bring many disciples to the course. But we know how to catch them, because now we have our list of people who have been sent to different groups and they are here. Oh, please send me to my group. What is your group? I don't know. What is my group? I don't know. And those people are those that were not actually admitted to the course. Now, this is funny, but it's actually very serious, because we are so organized here that we want to make life easier for ourselves. So keep it judiciously. Don't write it on your desk and you leave, your colleague copies it. Keep it so that our life can be made easier. It's only for you. And that goes for, because I know amongst us here, there are some who have joined without permission. They have not been admitted. There are more than 1,000 who are on the waiting list. So if we begin to share the link to other people, it's not fair. All right, so please keep it. And if you are here, you have not been admitted to the course, just quietly leave. Because the time will come when we identify you. All right, so just quietly leave so that we can enjoy this as we we have started, please. All right. The reason is for efficiency and making life easier for us. Then the Google Drive, I have shared the link. Please make it your friend. Make the Google Drive your friend. If you have not accessed it, because I know many of you, actually majority have not accessed the Google Drive, you are not doing yourself a good, because all the information, all the things you'll be doing are on the Google Drive. So please make it your friend. Use the link I've given, access it, read instructions, know what you're planning, what you'll be doing, and so on and so forth. They are all on the Google Drive. And at the end of each day, the presentation slides will also be put on the Google Drive, so that those who want to have them can have them. The recordings will go to our YouTube channel. So at the end of the day, once the recordings are populated, we'll send to our YouTube channel, and you can watch them again if you want to. All right. Then when you have the first breakout session, each group, and that is something we have not done this course. We used to do it before, but sometimes when we do it, we have challenges. We want a group coordinator for each group. All right. We have not appointed one. So when you get to your group, use the first 1 minute to appoint. You can volunteer. Before you start doing what you're asked to do, use the first 1 minute to appoint a group coordinator. The work of the group coordinator is to coordinate the group, take attendance. So once you you appoint a group coordinator, please take a form. You can take Excel, you can take whatever. Take attendance, not just people who are there. Put on your distance and then start doing other things. Active attendance. Take attendance of those who are present. If you go for the first breakout session, those who are present there, take that attendance. Anytime you go for breakout session, please take the attendance and arrange them in a way that is clear for us. Let's say today is 8th of December. You put 8th of December, first breakout session, those who are present, second breakout session, those who are present, and you do that for during the whole course. And then that will be very, very important, because we will use that in conjunction with other things to determine who will get the certificate. All right. And these are people who faithfully complete the course. So if you have any question about the course, you have the emails there we have sent, please send an email to us. And then the nuggets. In your Google Drive, you have the nuggets. And the nuggets are piece of advice or insight or opinion people have written about scientific writing. All right. So this is one thing we do in SFI that we like so much. So every group has opportunity to present a nugget. And so what you do is you read the paper as a group, you take the important things from that paper. All right. Prepare a slide, and a slide of maximum 5 minutes you present. You appoint somebody and the person will come and present on behalf of your group. Okay. And group number one will have their group number one, and group number two, and group number three will have their nuggets tomorrow. Group number one, group number two, and group number three. So your work has already started. So please prepare your nuggets, take it from your distance, and get ready tomorrow. All right. So that we can enjoy that aspect as well. And then one of the rules is, apart from meeting yourself when you are here, please rename yourself when you are here. And this is how you write this. This is an example. Write one, group one. All right. Because it makes life easier for us to send you to your breakout sessions when you have it like this. So rename yourself, and we can have it easier. And then at the end of the course, towards the end, we will send a link for evaluation. We want our programs to be evaluated so that we see where we can improve. The evaluations are helpful for us. The goal is to design programs that will continue to support African scientists positively. So please work on that. And in addition to that, everybody will fill the evaluation form. In addition to that, we will contact a few of you, and we want to have a video shout out, of how the course has gone for you. It's usually 3 minutes maximum of sharing your experience, but we'll do that close to the end of the course, and they will contact those who have chosen to make this video shout out. So please don't put your numbers on the chat. I have asked the one who has started this to prepare a link so that you can just create that link. You can just click that link and join. Don't put your numbers on the chat box. It makes it messy because the person will not have opportunity to collect all this information. All right. So please try to do that. Okay, I would take the first 5 people, a cross section of first 5 people. Your expectations. Why are you taking this course? So just raise your hand. The first 5 people I would take. Let me hear from you. Why did you register for this course? I have the first one. Yeah. Second person who wants to speak, please just raise your hand. Yeah. So when it's 5, yeah, it's enough. It's enough. Just stop there. All right. Nope. The last person is Reginald. Nope. Habimana, put your hand down. I have the 5. Every other person, I have Habimana, get your hand down. Reginald, get your hand down. Let me go to Patience. Sorry, I can't say the other ones. Just go in a few seconds. Tell us what you have. Patience, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Hello?
Yes, we hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. My expectation for this course is to learn more about scientific writing, and I'm hoping that at the end of the program, I'll be able to apply it to my field of studies and also interact with other people to get more information on how to write scientific papers. And like the examples you gave during your talk, people that have been writing before and they were not accepted in some high impact journals, and just like TED Fund sponsorship, and they couldn't get it. And my expectation is that after this course, I should be able to write papers that anybody seeing it will appreciate it. Even if there's no space, they will want to pick my work.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry,
okay,
I have a question. After that, I don't know if after this.
No question now. We'll come back to question. Let's just take the opinions. All right. I have Pascal Anos here, please.
Good morning, Prof. Good morning, everybody. This is my first time on the course, and straight to the answer. I registered for this course because of my interest in research. I have always been interested in research, but over the last 9-10 years, I've been self-taught. Everything, even the courses I've done in the past, I've been self-motivated, but I got involved here because of one of us who is here. So, but my take home for this course, I am aiming at adding to my knowledge base to be able to meaningfully interact with other researchers so that I can grow and contribute my quota in getting Africa to the place where it ought to be, even if it is in the small area where I am in Nigeria at the moment. That's like in summary what I intend to achieve from this course. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All right, I have Katungo Kalepu. Katungo, please unmute yourself and speak. Katungo, are you there?
Yes.
Please.
So, first of all, thank you for all participants, and thank you very much, Dr. Bright, for making this happen in Africa. And I was very pleased, first of all, to be accepted, because at the first time I tried it for systematic review, unfortunately, I was not selected. Then I was very ambitious to see if I'll get connected or get selected for this course. And to me, this is the platform to get connected to other scientists and other people who are working in the field, and they want to make Africa going ahead in terms of growing science and evidence, which are our own evidence that we can use to make decisions. But apart from that, also being in team is also encourage learning and encourage the process of understanding whatever we are learning. And as I said earlier, you said about having people who you can work together in future. So I think this is the right platform for me to work with other African researchers in different areas.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Katungo. All right, I have Ndeshi Conte.
Thank you, Doctor, and thank you, everyone. So I am a PhD candidate at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, and I actually just completed my data collection process, and I'm busy analyzing my data. And part of the requirement for my university for graduation is to have 2 published articles in peer-reviewed journals. So this course is really complementary to where I am with my PhD journey. Thank you.
All right, great, thank you. And finally, I have Usman Sanyang.
Thank you very much, Prof, and my fellow candidates, participants. So I am also a medical doctor by profession, doing my fellowship, and as part of the requirement, I have to submit my thesis and defend it for my fellowship exam. And from where I am from the Gambia, and then I have through interaction and things, papers I have seen in various countries and journals, I know that like the Gambia is a rich mine for scientific writing, and by training, traditionally, we are not introduced into scientific writing, and what we mainly do is tailored around service delivery and not much of research. And I think this is a golden opportunity for me to learn, interact, collaborate, and then partner with scientists to be able to indulge in scientific writing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Usman. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so that is a common feedback, and I hope that in the end of this week, your expectations will be fulfilled. That is what we aim for. We want to take you a step further from where you are. And perhaps you have been publishing and doing great. We would like to also make you to remember some of the tools you need to move on. All right, so fundamental issues will be treated. We'll have group discussions. Let's make it active. All right, nuggets, practicals are hands-on, and then finally the group project that we'll be doing in the end of the course. So now how to disagree. Paul Graham suggests that as scientists, our group discussion should be on the issues, okay? On the issues, not down here. We should be on top there, not name calling, not attacks of character, not responding to tone. Your tone was not good. Not contradiction or counter argument or refutation. let's refute this central point. Let's discuss the issues, because that is what takes us to where we want to be. So this is just a note for us, so that in your groups, don't come out of your group and say, I didn't like that group they sent me. I don't like it. Can I change to another group? I don't know what they're just talking about. No. Let's make it a lovely place. All right. We have groups that have started for a long time and they continue. So make your group what you desire and focus on the key issues. All right. Now, scientific writing exercise. This is a project, your group project you'll be doing, and you'll be presenting on Wednesday next week, the last day of the class. The goal of the project is to give the participants deep appreciation of the scientific writing process, in which they will analyze sets of real-world data. We said real-world data, interpret the results obtained from the analysis, and prepare a full scientific paper from the data analysis performed by implementing the various tools and skills demonstrated during the course. So we are giving you some tools. And so what you do is that there is a data set that has been given to your group. So you are going to take it, analyze it, clean it, interpret it, then write a full-blown scientific paper. All right, please. If you are not muted, please do so. We don't want to start now with distractions, please. So mute yourself. All right. In the end of the course, each group should produce a fine, and it's underlined, a fine scientific manuscript. All right. So what do? Each group is given a real-world data and a research question to address. You have a research question there. Each group should clean and prepare the given data for analysis. The group should analyze the data with respect to the research questions given, interpret the results of the analysis, write a manuscript from their project that is aimed for submission to a scientific journal, prepare a slide presentation from the project that highlights how the group accomplished its task, as well as the main features of the written scientific manuscript. The slide presentation will be made on the last day of the course. The presentation should be a maximum of 10 minutes, after which the whole class will discuss on the presentation. The written scientific paper should be submitted to the course teacher at the end of the course. 7 sets of instructions, and I believe they are clear-cut and clear. All right. Now, I'm sending you to your breakout sessions now. So if you have not put your name, to your group number to your name, then it is difficult to send you to breakout sessions. And this is what you're going to do. In 15 minutes, what is scientific writing? That is a big question. Is it a science or an art? Now, the instruction is, don't use your phones, no internet, don't search. Just your first impression. What is scientific writing? Is it a science or is it an art? So 15 minutes, you discuss that, and then we will bring you back. So please take a picture. If you have not taken a picture of this, just take a picture of this, and while I prepare you for your breakout sessions. All right, while you're doing that, I see Harry has a question. He raised his hand, please. Harry, I hope you have taken the picture now. So I'm opening the rooms. I have 2 participants have raised their hands. Let me see. Okay, I have Ange. Ange, you have raised your hand. Can you speak? So once it's 15 minutes, I will bring you back. So please, the room is open now. Choose your room and join. Choose your room and join. Choose your room and join. Great. 15 minutes, I'll bring you back. So first of all, choose your group coordinator, and then you discuss this question. What is scientific writing? Is it a science? Is it an art? And if you have not put your, I see several of you have not put your group number. And well, you know the group you belong to from your group list, so you can join that group on your screen. But it's best to put your group number to your name as instructed.
Sir, I can't see the joining room. It has disappeared. It was there.
Do you have your group? Do you have your group number?
Yes, I've written it on my name.
All right. So now for this session, I will take feedback from group number 1 to group number 6. So please be snappy. I'm giving each group 1 minute to tell us what you have. So who is for group number 1? Just raise your hand so that I will call you. Group number 1, who is presenting for group number 1? Let's do it snappy, 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 snappy. Group number 1, who is presenting? All right, Usman, please go ahead. Group number 2, also raise your hand at this time too. Usman, please tell us within 1 minute what your group has discussed. Scientific writing, is it science or art?
So thank you so much. Our group has agreed that scientific writing is both a science and an art, in that the scientific aspect of it is whatever we are producing or to our audience has to be evidence-based. It has to be, we have to be objective in what we are saying. We shouldn't be subjective or swayed by anything. And we have to have clear goals and aims and objectives. And then conclusively, our conclusion will be derived on our aims, set aims and objectives. It is an art, and because you have to know, you have a broad target audience, and you have to be very simple so that your audience, based on different walks of life, would be able to understand what you have written. And your ideas have to be coherent. You have to be, they have to follow so that people will follow the trend of your narration. And then you should be able to, excite your readers in what you are explaining.
All right, thank you. Group number 2, who is presenting for group number 2? Please raise your hand. Okay, group number 3, who is going for group number 3? Group number 2, raise your hand.
Number 2, Randa.
Okay, group number 3, I've given you time. You should raise your hand so that we can. Simon, go for group number 3.
Yes, thank you so much. Group 3, this what we all discuss and agree on. Yes. Yes, so we discussed it as follows. It is a science because it employs using organized methods of data collection, analysis, and presentation of data. It requires scientific data gathering. It is both a science and art because you will have to gather scientific evidence and follow a certain style of writing. It also has to follow a certain standard and procedure, all up to conclusion. So this is what we discuss as a group.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Who is going for group number 4? Miriam, is it you? Okay, no, I have Ayodeji.
Well, what we discussed in our own group is not too far from what everybody said. Those who have spoken said that it is both a science and an art. It's science because it conforms to a specific group of laws that must be abided by, and then it is a means of communication by which scientists speak to themselves so that they can understand. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And then Miriam, are you for group 5?
Yes, Prof.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I think everyone is still in the same line. It's both science and arts. And in my group, we say that science alone cannot be well presented without an artistic underlining. It's a science because it has to be, it has to be structured. A scientific writing has to be structured from introduction, abstract, introduction, materials and methods, and the likes. And it's also an art because if the understanding and the skill is not there, you would just be writing without passing the scientific knowledge across to the audience. So it's both an art and science.
Thank you. All right. Group number 6, Kufulia, is it you?
Yes. Yes, Prof. It's me.
Go ahead.
In our own group, we concluded that the scientific writing is both science and art. It's a science because we engage the output of our research, and because this our own skills to develop their writing and follow a serious methodological study. As it is an art because we need after those research, we need to communicate to the audience to benefit from them their own idea of on that research that we concluded. This is the general point of view.
All right. Thank you.
On this scientific.
All right. So I had Randa before, who is present for group number 2. Let me give you the last chance now.
Thank you. We discussed in group 2 the same as previous groups, that scientific writing is a mix of art and science, which science you follow systematic instruction and steps, but it's more also an art as how you express it and the skills that people may like it or not. So it's more than art, but it also follows the science portion.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your thoughts are very, 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 very succinct, and I like your point of view. But the problem is this: many people and many of you who have come here have not been thinking about your scientific writing, that it is an amalgamation of science and art. Many of you don't think in that way. Many of you think that writing well is following rules. Yeah, following rules. And then you forget that there is beauty in everything. There is beauty that rules many times do not make. And that is where you tread into the region of art. So to be able to craft a sound write-up, you need a combination of the rules that are there, and you need a combination of art to be artistic. And I tell you, many times, those who publish in top journals are those scientists who are artistic. Yeah, who are artistic. Take note of that. And so if you have been writing, because that is what your discipline said, report this, report that, report this, report that. But the content of your writing, if it does not have the beauty of art, then you fail. And that is one of the rules or principles I want to sound to you in this course. And so whether you have failed in your grant writing, you have failed in your publication profile, whatever, go back and see. How artistic has it been? How beautiful is it? Goodness me. And the thing is that we grow. You know, when you have a sculptor who makes this images, who makes these things, many times they do it, they don't like, they scatter them and build them again. Use their hand to make it look beautiful. And you grow in that. Okay. Now, as I am, if I go and take my PhD, I don't even want to look at it. And I ask myself, did I write these things? Did I write? So was I sleeping when I wrote this? The issue is that I have grown. Okay, I've grown, and I have a different level of input and output, and my artistic way of expression has improved. And so, scientific writing is both science because there are rules that are set down, but as well as artistic. And that artistic part can make a big difference. So how artistic have you been in your writing? Perhaps that is what has caused you not to have that grant. That is what has caused you not to publish. And when I talk about artistic, is your expression. How do you present your case? How do you present your argument? How do you use tables to construct your data? How do you use figures? Those are stories that can captivate even the reader. And even when you go to, we'll come back to that, I think, on day 4. What about cover letter, writing a cover letter to the editor? Do you know that the cover letter of the editor can be sunk into your cover letter that, wow, this is good. Being artistic in your scientific writing makes a big difference. I agree with you. It's both an art and science. But the artistic part, I want to stress it. And I want you to build on that. The artistic part of expression, to build on that. I grew up not liking to read because I was a science student. But when I started reading, because it was mandatory in those days, one of the first novels I read was Things Fall Apart. Oh, when I read this, I said, wow, this story. And after that, I read the other ones he wrote. I read the other one, and I started reading. And because I started reading, I started having taste. When something is well expressed, I can taste it. I can find it. I say, well, this is good. This is good. All right. So the point I'm making here is, if you want to develop your artistic capability in writing, one of the surest way to do that is reading. Reading. When I was doing my undergraduate, and I was doing is it, what do they call it? Is it scientific composition or no, writing composition, something like that? And this, my teacher, who always sound this, says, learning makes a man, but reading makes the right man. Learning makes a man, but reading makes the right. You see, those who read are the kings in any society. All right. This is a funny story. A friend of mine from Tanzania. So Tanzanians, this is not to belittle you. It's just to express this thing. They had their president, who is the president, the Nyerere. This, my friend, will tell me that, because Tanzania has been a very peaceful country in Africa for some time, even though now they are having some skirmish like other African countries will have. But in those days, Nyerere was Pan-African. And what happens is that he will, people were stopped from watching television or listening or reading all these things. He said, man, you know what? This guy, people saw him as like a god because he had too much information. Even though we don't interact with people outside so much, but he will come and he will tell you what the queen is doing, and people will clap, I say, you know what? He was reading and watching those things he doesn't want us to watch and read. All right. So the point is that he was exposed through reading. He could get information from anywhere in the world. So reading can make you a very good artistic writer. And some of those readings are outside your field. So cultivate the attitude of reading. Scientific writing is a science and as well an art. And the artistic part can make a whole lot of difference. And if you have not been cultivating that, this is this is an area you need to cultivate. All right, I have Rhoda. Rhoda, you're raising your hand. Rhoda Insane. All right, Rhoda is not speaking. All right, let's continue. Thank you for the task you have performed now, and it's a foundation we should build in going forward. So what is scientific writing? The process of effectively, please mute yourself if you're not speaking. Don't let us go back to Angen, mute yourself. All right, so scientific writing is the process of effectively communicating the result of a scientific research and the processes that led to obtaining those results. All right, you have done your research, you have collected your data, you have analyzed your data, you might have collected your data qualitatively, you might have collected your data quantitatively, it doesn't matter. But that process of telling a story of what you have done is scientific writing. And that part is not that easy, but it's very exciting. I use the word story because that is actually what you're doing. In my country, in those days when we were young, we used to have what is called Tales by Moonlight. And in those days, they used to have it on Sunday evening, and the children will gather before the television. I don't know if they still have those nowadays. And we will listen. Captivating stories. So scientific writing is actually storytelling by scientists. All right, storytelling by scientists. And you need to have the words. You need to have the mannerism. You need to have the text. You need to have the responsibility to be able to tell your story properly. And what you have seen here is an interaction between scientists, interaction between scientists and the society, and every other person, every other actor in the society. So there should be an interaction, all right, that the scientists can communicate to the society, can communicate to public relations office, can communicate to other actors. So all these things are happening here. What we are doing in our labs, in the four corners of our university, the goal is not to bury them there. The goal is to be able to tell that story. This is what we are doing. And you know that in many places, the ability of using or utilizing the research works is effective communication. If it's not well communicated, people will not understand. And if you don't understand, you can't use it. So communication skills are important for scientists. You can write and the reviewer of your work is tired. So I will continue this next time. All right. And the same reviewer can read somebody's work. This is sweet. and will not want to sleep, will not want to be tired, because there is an artistic demonstration of telling that story. All right, so it's very important to effectively communicate this process. Scientific writing and science writing. We are dealing this 5 days with scientific writing, but there is also what is called science writing or communication. And I want to make a difference with that. And there is a difference between scientific writing and science writing with regards to audience. The audience, scientific writing is your writing to specific professional audience. Those in your field, you're writing to them. And so because that audience is well defined, professional audience, the language, the structure, the mannerism, the textual nature of what you're writing is suited, is targeted at these people. All right? And then you have science writing. Science writing is writing to the general audience. It's a process of communicating the result of our scientific activities to an audience that does not have the training we have. And in doing that, your language, your words, your textual context changes immediately to accommodate that audience. And what is happening here is easier to reach those who are in your professional field than doing here. I have engaged with that. I'm engaging with that. And I tell you, it is not an easy thing. But that is not what we are doing here. We plan in going forward, SFI will have a course on science communication or science writing. So the audience matters. In scientific writing, you use jargons. Your language is formal, but in science writing, it is plain, it's informal, it's a common language. All right? In my country, Nigeria, you can go to the extent that you can go down that in science writing, you begin to use the common language we have there, Pidgin English, because you want to capture the audience. So science writing is that process of transition. The scientist goes, you move from your secure corner to unsecure place where you can tell your story to people who know nothing about the process that produce what you have done, and tell it in a way that they can understand what you have done. Intricate details in scientific writing, overarching idea. You go into details here, but here you take the key issues. I have a PhD student who is defending next week. And usually in my university here, when you're defending, then you have to write a press release in which the press office will announce your PhD. So last week, he sent me a draft of his press release, and I laughed. There are a lot to learn. He has finished his PhD, but you know, learning about science communication is a lifelong process, and that you have done a PhD does not give you a license. No, you will fail. And by the time I reconstructed what you have written, he was like, wow, how in the world will I even know this? How will I in the world be able to do this? But it's something that comes with experience. You do it over and over. So there is a format you use here, and this is the science part of it, as you have explained. And then there is a narrative way of presenting your story in the science writing. All right. So what are the mediums for scientific writing? We publish in journals. We publish in theses. There are technical reports, conference presentations. So those things we tell, those stories we tell in these mediums are the constituents of scientific writing. And that is what we'll be dealing with this week. And then you may also ask about scientific or academic writing versus grant writing. I always tell people they are different. They are different. I won't go details into that. Perhaps you need to come to SFI science grant writing course. But the grant writing, there's something that defines it and makes it different from academic writing or scientific writing, is because money is involved. In grant writing, you are speaking the language of money. You want to get money. You want to dig your hand into the pocket of those who have the money and to convince them, to give you their money. They don't know you. All they do in most cases is to read what you have written. Doing this is not easy because money is not the best friend you can have. It can divide friends. But in grant writing, your focus is money. Your audience is different. You're looking at those who have the money. In scientific writing, academic writing, you have professionals you're interacting with. So that is a very big issue. So when you have done this course, the thing is that you shouldn't be confident that, well, now I know how to write to get money. No, there are other skills. And that is why we have a whole course on grant writing. And in there, the skills we teach you there is different from what we are doing these 5 days. So look out for that course. If you want to get money, there is a course that can prepare you to hit any rock and get it to your side. All right? Okay, now I will send you out again. I will send you out again in 20 minutes. All right? And what I would like you to do is to discuss the following point and come with a consensus feedback. Why is writing and publishing important for your scientific career? Outline and discuss 5 benefits of scientific writing and publishing to a scientist. In 5 phrases, describe your writing experience. An example: writing is hard for me. Writing is easy. Writing is exciting. What aspect of the scientific writing process do you find most easy or difficult? How productive has been your writing and publishing during the last 5 years? Have you achieved your expectations during this period? If yes, what has been your strategies? If no, what have been your barriers? Any thoughts on how to overcome those barriers? All right. So let's get that through. I will send you out now. Appoint somebody who will present these cases in 1 minute, not more than that. So please take a picture of this and let's get doing. Okay, so I will send it out and in 20 minutes, I will bring you back. The rooms are opened now. So the time starts counting now. Those who have not put their numbers to their group, their group numbers to their names, then you see it's difficult to get you to your room. Please do that.